Dallas. So welcome back to Favorite Friday. For this case, we are going back to Tennessee, specifically Nashville. This case, apparently, if you go back to 2009, apparently was very well covered. Really, I think it's because of our victim was a very beloved NFL football player. Our killer literally is only known for being in it, basically a fling, as the title says, with our victim. So, if for context, I'm gonna talk about the victim first because there's more information on him. He's better known and kind of a good chunk of the story. So, with that being said, I'm quitting rambling. Give us public note down below. So that and let's go get started. So, Steve McNair was born on February 14th, 1973. He would have a son in 1991, right after high school with his high school sweetheart. He would go to Alcorn State University, and apparently he was offered a full-ride scholarship to the University of Florida, but they wanted him to be the running back, whereas he wanted to be the quarterback. And I guess Alcorn State, they were offering, say, hey, you can be the quarterback, but you play for us because you're pretty good. So he went to go play for Alcorn State, and apparently graduated from there. In 1994, apparently he would have another kid named Steve. So you got Steve Jr. and Steve N. And then apparently the mother of Steve would apparently split from that relationship because apparently she was a jealous type. So apparently, I guess, even in those days, apparently, I guess he was speculated to be seeing other women. So in 1995, he gets drafted for the Houston Oilers. He becomes their quarterback 2 years later. He marries Michelle sometime in 1997, and then they have 2 kids together. The team moves to Nashville, where they become the Tennessee Titans. He is on the Titan team for 11 years, and then apparently he moves to the Baltimore Ravens, and he's on their team for 2 years. So in 1999, apparently he sets up a foundation with, of course, his name on it, so the Steve McNair Foundation. And then in 2007, he announced his retirement, and then apparently he also created a restaurant in Nashville. So in late 2008, apparently Steve would meet Sahel Kazemi, if that's how you pronounce her name, at a Dave & Buster's. And so she was born in May of 1989. Her mother was apparently murdered when she was 8 years old. She had apparently come to the States, because the murder happened in Iran, apparently. She had come over to the States and had lived in Florida until age of 16, where she was staying with a boyfriend, and the boyfriend was apparently 20 at the time. So then what happened after age 16, it doesn't say. So apparently they started going on trips, because remember, Steve's a married man, so this is technically an affair. They started going on trips together, and Steve apparently bought her a car for her 20th birthday. He also takes to Mississippi to meet the extended family, not the immediate family, because the immediate family knows he's married and shit. And then apparently she realizes that, I'm not the only woman that he's having an affair with. So then instead of telling the wife, being upset, you're married, look what the fuck, she decides, we're going to stalk one of these other women that he's also cheating on his wife with. So on July 2nd, apparently Sahel and Steve, they're driving around together. They get stopped for speeding because apparently they were going 55 and a 35. She gets charged with DUI. Steve gets to leave in a car. So apparently she calls her ex, I guess the one phone call you get in jail, to call the ex and say, hey, could you get this car from this location? Obviously, he doesn't have the keys. Apparently, he goes to the location, realizes he doesn't have the keys, goes to a nearby officer and asks, I guess for help, because, what would you do in this situation? And he finds out, apparently, from this officer that her and Steve are still talking. She gets out the next morning on bail. Steve had apparently paid, because, Steve, NFL, you got your own restaurant. NFL, you got your own restaurant, you held successful, he got money like that. So he pays for her to get out of jail. She proceeds to go buy a gun from a felon. And then apparently text him asking for $2,000 because apparently he was paying her bills and she was behind on bills. So if you cut me off, I'm going to be fucked financially. So apparently she asked him multiple times because she come over. He claims that I'm putting my kids to sleep because, again, he got 4 kids. When in reality, according to timestamps, he was actually out at a bar with friends. So, of course, clearly ditching her. On July 4th, apparently he asked her to come over. And she's like, hey, can you leave the door unlocked so that way I can apparently get in? So I guess he did, so that she gets in. And then while he is asleep, she shoots him twice in the chest and twice in the head before taking her own life with the same gun. So then both bodies were apparently found by Steve's friend, Wayne, who I guess Wayne didn't know what to do. So then he called Robert, and then the police were called. And then Steve had apparently had 3 wills at the time, but none of them were declared final. He went to the lawyer. None of them were the official, valid final will. That makes sense. So then, of course, this caused the family to eventually fight for all the stuff that Steve had left behind. Because, this man had left a lot behind. So, who exactly got what? I don't know, that's publicly known. Because, of course, I guess it wouldn't be publicly known. And so, with that being said, that's the case of the murder of Steve McNair. And I guess if you knew him personally, let me know. If you knew Sahel personally, let me know. And so, that being said, if you have any more murders involving football players or murders over football, I covered with the Natalie bowling case, definitely let me know. So that being said, after our Fatal Females 2 times a week, subscribe for more Fatal Females, and see you guys next one. Bye!